Alright, hello, and welcome to Camel Finance. I'm your boy Camel, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. This is my first video, so this will be an overview on what the channel is, what it's about, and what its aims are. We have a Twitter profile, so you can go ahead and follow us there. We'll be posting to both YouTube and Twitter every day. So, with all that said, welcome to Camel Finance. Who is Camel? I grew up poor, and all of my childhood and into my teenage years, I would ask anyone at any opportunity, how do I get money? What do I have to do to be successful? And what I noticed was everyone kind of told me the same thing. So, well, Camel, you gotta go to school, you gotta try hard, and you gotta go to university, and you gotta get a degree. And if you choose something like a science, then you'll be successful and you'll have loads of money. And so I played the game. I played the game the way it was intended to be played. I worked hard at school. I went to university in the UK. I got a chemistry degree. And then I went to get a degree-specific career as a scientist. I worked in labs for Big Pharma. I then moved out of labs and into offices to do manufacturing process design, validation, all this sort of stuff. And I got a house and a pension and paid holiday, and by all accounts, I suppose you could say I'd made it. However, if anyone's ever done this before, they will realise that you can make decent money if you devote your entire life to it, and if you're willing to bleed for a company that simply does not care about you. However, I realised pretty early on I was never going to make what I considered to be serious money, nor was I prepared to bleed for a company that simply didn't care about my well-being. So I was forced, in my opinion, to look for an alternative, somewhere I could get financial freedom, free time, and ultimately live a life that I wanted to live. So this is how I came to be an investor and a trader. I began trading penny stocks. And I eventually progressed to derivatives, spread bet and CFDs. Primarily these days I trade gold, oil, the stock indexes, the US ones particularly, S&P, Dow. Through a lot of hard work and dedication, I was able to leave my career and become a full-time retail trader. I'm not a 15-minute or 5-minute or 5-tick candle trader. I'm not a day trader. I prefer large swings using a daily chart. I occasionally will use higher time frame charts, but for the most part all I use is the daily chart. I find that's all I need. So I have lived on both sides of this. I've seen what it is like to have absolutely no money and to not be able to afford to run your washing machine, and I've also experienced the privilege that is to be truly free and to not have to wake up to an alarm in the morning or answer to a boss. And so I guess the question you're asking is, well, that's great, but why YouTube? Why now? Well, this channel was not intended to be advice. I'm not trying to sell anything. There are no trading courses to buy from me. I'm not suggesting you copy any trade signals, or I'm not trying to sell any trade signals. I have not designed my own indicators or any of this sort of thing. I really want nothing from you apart from to share my experience, my ideas. I do this every day anyway, so it's really no hassle to post my thoughts and ideas. And I do believe a very important tool for trading is to be able to build a hive mind, a collection of like-minded people striving for the same thing. This is in my opinion, one of the strongest advantages you can have as a retail trader, is having other smart minds to bounce ideas off of and to learn from, people with experience. You can Google chart patterns and pay for courses, and some of them may well be legit, but in my experience, and I really had to pay in order to become a trader. I really had to lose a lot of money. I really had to learn the hard way that there is no shortcut. And so hopefully I can share my journey a little bit, share some experience from somebody who has actually made it through the other side. I consider myself a reset expert as well, and part of my studying and my journey has led me to be able to understand this reset that is impending, and I feel that what is coming is incredibly cruel, and therefore I almost feel somewhat called to this. I feel like I hold a pocket of knowledge that frankly a lot of people don't have, and therefore I feel like people like me have a moral obligation to speak on this and to try to spread some education and warning. I know I'm almost quite late to this. I know there's people that have been speaking on the reset for 2 or 3 years now, some possibly even longer than that, the insiders and whatnot, but I really feel like I can see what's coming in the years over the rest of this decade, and I think it's incredibly cruel in parts. I think a lot of people are going to suffer, and somewhat unnecessarily. So hopefully, again, I can provide some education, some context, and possibly even we can find ways to profit from this. Not that I'm giving financial advice at all in any way, shape or form, but I've certainly been doing well out of this reset, and so hopefully if I can share the way that I think, my thought process, and possibly even get some new learnings, some new thoughts, some new ideas from the community, then I think that would be a great thing. Our core values at this channel, we are primarily anti-fiat. I believe that we really are in the end series or the end portion of the death of the fiat cycle. I really think that we're going to see hyperinflation destroy fiat currencies, and I think this is being done on purpose. Hyperinflation is the only way that the central banks can service their debt, and therefore I think it's inevitable that we see hyperinflation. I believe this is also being done to force your average Joe, your average person, to have to accept handouts, and these handouts are going to come in the form of central bank digital currencies. So if this is just as a side note, if this is too much for anyone to understand, don't worry, we will be going into all of this in great detail. This is just an overview. But I believe that this is being done to force the average Joe to accept handouts in the form of central bank digital currencies. And this is essentially money that is digital, comes direct from the central bank, and will have a lot of strings attached. It will be programmatic or programmable money, so that they can attach stipulations to this money, such as what you can spend it on. I believe this comes with negative real bank interest rates, so that you'll have to pay to keep your money there. I also believe that in a more sinister scenario that you could be penalized and fined for basically any reason that the governments or central banks decide. And so therefore I think that we have an inevitable hyperinflation, or at the absolute minimum, very, very high inflation. This channel will at some point be doing a deep dive into the real world inflation numbers that we have, and that's to come in the future. I think for now the point we're trying to make is hyperinflation, or at least severe levels of inflation, are inevitable over this decade. We are also long gold, silver and Bitcoin, and the key distinguishment here is we are not one or the other here. We are both. We are long gold and silver and Bitcoin and some cryptos. I know a lot of people like to say, well, gold is this and therefore Bitcoin is worse, or Bitcoin is better in every way, shape or form. But I don't see why you can't hold both. I don't see it at all. I mean, we do hold both, and there's no problem with that. I think both are going to do well. It is our view that gold is going to outperform equities over this decade, and it's our view that Bitcoin is going to smoke everything, absolutely everything. And I think the reason for this is that while rates are going to continue to rise until something breaks, interest rates are going to continue to rise until something breaks. Eventually something will break, and when it does, the only way back is to turn the printers back on and to go even more QE than we have in the prior few years. And as this level of QE or printing is unsustainable, eventually this is going to lead to a reset into what we believe will be a one world currency. Again, the channel will cover this in future videos. And therefore, with all that said, we hope to help educate and to profit from these conditions. We certainly will be profiting from these conditions, so hopefully we can share some of our ideas, and you can increase your education, increase your knowledge, and hopefully find a way to survive this reset. So part of this channel aims are, as described above, reset survival, macro, I guess you can call it, long-term positioning. Another part of this channel will be covering financial news, so we will likely go over, I haven't decided on the structure yet, but I'm sure there will going to be a news section. I don't know if this is going to be every episode, or perhaps it will be a few times a week, but we'll cover some news. But I know we are certainly going to be covering the news, at least the portions of the news in which we deem important to gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil, so on and so forth. And part of this channel will be covering charts. As I said, I am a full-time retail swing trader. I've been doing this for longer than I care to remember now. So since I look at charts every day, I mostly or primarily trade gold, oil, indexes, Bitcoin, but I'll be giving my opinions or my perspectives as a swing trader. So I'll maybe just do a demo of that shortly, just to give you a feel for what will likely be coming in future videos. And if that sounds like something you might find value from, then go ahead and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter. We'll be posting, I don't know, trade ideas and anything we deem relevant really on here, links to YouTube. Okay, we have created a blank TradingView account for Camel Finance, and we've stuck a few things in here. So I'm just going to sort of show you how I plan to. I'm just going to show you sort of how I plan to cover these charts in the coming episodes. I'm not sure if this is going to be a daily thing or a few times a week. Likely a few times a week, because frankly I don't think we need to be looking at the charts every day. But just so you know, I'm not a fan of indicators. I use only the daily chart really. I do occasionally zoom into 2 hours in order to draw trend lines and get precision on those trend lines. But primarily I trade market structure, and I don't like a whole lot of noise on the chart, moving averages and RSI. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't work, it's just our opinion. Okay, so for me, we've got this sort of uptrend. I expect us to form some sort of mid-cycle low around day 21, I would think. So that puts us around the 12th of April. So I could see some sort of, I don't know whether this, some sort of trend line break. Maybe it goes a little higher, and then we get a trend line break down to where it's like the 11th of April. Does that sound about right? So yeah, I could see us getting some sort of trend line break and a pullback. How low this goes, I don't know. But for me, I'll be looking to buy this pullback and then see what the market can give. Let's have a look at gold. For me, we've got this sort of situation going on. So I'll be looking to buy a breakout of this. Not trading advice, not saying you should copy me, but this is just what I'm going to do. I'm going to be looking for a breakout of this trend line. And we'll be looking for, I don't know, wherever the trend line break comes, we'll be looking for something in the neighborhood of this. As a simple swing trade, maybe a bit wider, wherever the lows end up being. I don't really know where, but I like the look of that. Oil, I like the look of oil too. Two real areas I'll be paying attention to be honest. I think firstly we've got this sort of situation going on. If we break down convincingly from here, then I think we'll probably go a lot lower. But in the meantime, if we don't, then similarly to gold, I'll be looking to buy a breakout or a breakdown from here. So up or down, I don't know. But we'll update on this in the coming days. Bitcoin, I think we got a danger zone coming up. I'm no way near bearish. Long term, I'm super bullish, and there'll be videos to come in the future where I'm pretty sure this thing is going well into the six figures in the next few years. But for now, I do think it's doing well, but I do think this is a danger zone. I haven't just plucked this arbitrarily. I think this is a danger zone, and I think what happens here could be sort of significant. We'll grab this and do this. You'll sort of see where I'm going with this. I could see us getting sort of stuck here. I don't think it's a problem so long as we can sort of form a low and then move higher, but this is going to be major resistance, this area, in my opinion. So I think we need to be really careful once we get into this, say 55 to 62 range, assuming we get there. I think it's going to be time to pay attention. I'll also be looking to cover any open positions short term. We permanently hold long spot, but short term positions taken from down here or taken from a breakout above this level, we'll be looking to take the profit on a trend line break. And that will probably do for today. So hopefully you like this format of channel. Hopefully we can grow this channel. Hopefully we get some good ideas going. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything you want me to cover. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see. I'm your boy Camel, and until next time, take care. Bye.